All right, so first of all, the core for this material is translation. So I'd like to describe the introduction part for our presentation today, or our discussion today. First, I will describe about what is translation, and then why is AI needed in translation learning. And then the third part about key theories that support AI in translation learning. And then, okay. And then how AI used in translation learning, also the challenges and ethical consideration. And then first of all, about what is translation? Probably many of you consider, okay, translation is just translate the text. But actually, it's not that simple. Probably some of you that already trying to practice translation, you will know, or you already know how the tricks, or how is it the tricky part, and what is it, choices that you made in translating the text. So you have, for example, the critical awareness of choosing which words or what kind of text we identify, the context, and then we translate the text. So for me, translation is more to an art. Why? Because when we translate the text, we're not only thinking about the the text, but also when we encounter difficulties, or let's say problems in the source text, or the first text that we want to translate, we have to find out what the text means. What's the context? What is it about? And then if on the way we read all the sentences, we might find, let's say, grammar error, or some words that are too long, too wordy, and then we have to make more simple in the target text. So we do that process in our mind, before translating the text, of course. But today, translation is more to multidimensional act, which involve linguistic transposition, which means that we have to find the equivalence of each word, each sentence, each paragraph that we like to translate. What is equivalent? Equivalent is similarity in terms of meaning, and culture, and every aspect that include from those words, phrase, sentence, paragraph, and into a text. And then cultural negotiation. Here means that we adapt the meaning to the target context. So we have to know all the aspects in the language, in the target language. So if you're asking, how is to be a good, how is it that we can be a good translator? At least we are a bilingual individual, which means you can speak both spoken and written in the two languages. So you don't just good in one language, but not that good in the other language. So I think we have to learn more, practice more, so we can master both languages. And then cognitive processing means that we interpret and re-express ideas. So while we're reading the text, we interpret what it means, For example, if we are asked by maybe our friends or someone that have, what is it, uh, a book or something that want us to translate, or asking our help to translate the text, whatever that text is, then we have to interpret it, and probably we can discuss, is this what you liked, or is this the idea that you meant? And then we express the idea in the target language. So probably if you're what is it, you like to read a novel or comic books, you can find both texts in the bookstore. Yeah, the source text and target text, and then you can compare both texts. Okay, and then next, social and ideological influence. This is shaped by power structure, which means sometimes the text that we'd like to translate is, what is it, influenced by, let's say, if the text is related to economical or political or legal, then sometimes it is, we have to be, what is it, we have to follow or coordinates with the person in charge, yeah, who are probably would like our assistance in translating the text. Yeah, for example, the government. So we cannot translate it the way we wanted, but we have to consult with them also. Okay, and then next is why AI in translation learning, or why do we have to use AI or AI assistance in translation learning? First, especially in today's era, there are growing demand for multilingual communications. Here, AI-powered tools provide instant solutions for bridging language gaps. For example, in education. In education, here means facilitating access to global knowledge, yeah, or facilitating how we understood the knowledge from other language, yeah, in simple. And then business and trade. This enable us to cross-border commerce. For example, if we do trading and export, import the products, so we have to be able to speak foreign language also. Spoken and written, of course. And then healthcare and legal fields. You see, sometimes I believe this is what I get from watching some movies. There are situations, yeah, I'm not sure in Indonesia, but in other countries abroad, when immigrants come into the country and then they have problems in accessing healthcare and legal fields. So this AI help them to give the information or whatever information that they have to provide it to the healthcare, like our identity and what's our health problem, and AI provide instant solution for that. And then social media content, yeah, social media and content localization, where here people are breaking language barriers online. Yeah, sometimes in that content we can directly use the AI to translate the text. For example, using iTranslate. Yeah, it's a voice translation tools. That's AI use yeah, for growing demand for multilingual communication aspect. And then AI's role in democratizing language education. So here AI makes language learning and translation more accessible by personalized learning, real-time feedback, cost-effective solutions, neural machine translation, such as Market, Google Translate, DeepSeek, and ChatGPT. Yeah, so those are the tools, yeah, that used in translation, neural machine translation. So this is the part where AI have roles in language education. In personalized learning, we have adaptive AI tutors, for example, Duolingo. You probably or often use Duolingo. Are you familiar with it? And then Mondly, it's quite similar. And then Memrise and Busu, you might able to find it there. It tailors lessons to individual proficiency too. And then real-time feedback. So the AI corrects pronunciation, grammar, and syntax instantly. And then for cost-effective solution, the AI reduces reliance on human translator for basic needs. So it helps the human in translation. It helps
Ya,
as the main
di mana?
tools. And then
Apa?
neural machine translation or NMT.
Masuk.
This is where, or NMT is an advanced approach to machine translation that uses artificial neural network to translate text from one language to another. What does it mean? It means that the NMT is a tool that provide many, it can assist or can combine all the AI, all the information of translation data. And then related to the key theories that supports AI in translation learning. Of course, we have social constructivism by Vygotsky. Here, AI can act as a scaffolding tool, providing real-time feedback and adaptive challenges tailored to the learner's level. And then social interaction in learning. So this is the other or another theory coming from Vygotsky about social interaction in learning. So where learner-centered translation thrives in collaborative environments where students discuss AI-generated outputs, compare translations, and refine skills collectively. And then connectivism, developed by Simmons and Jones. Here, the AI connects learner to global translation resources. And then related to translator-centered approach theory from Donald Perrelli, AI tools stimulate or simulate real-world scenarios, for example, localizing content, post-editing machine translation, and making practice more authentic and student-driven. So this is the key theory in supporting AI in translation learning. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay. So what kinds of AI that we actually use in our classroom? So here are some of the AI that we apply in our classroom in the previous semester. First, we use the smart cat to assist us, and then Wordhippo and gloss.com, and then Grammarly.
Mau dipakai. Pinjam dulu.
all of the students are in groups for 5 students, and all of them can access all of the AI or tools here. Of course, in SmartCat, you have to log in first, you have to sign in first, and then there are parts where we type some text and then we translate it, and then after we press OK or enter, then the AI will give checklist if all of the words are suitable or match. And there will be some warnings, information, if there are some words that are not match or mismatch. Yeah, SmartCat has been used in our classroom previously. And then word reports more to thesaurus, related to what are the synonyms that we want to use. It's quite complete. There are a lot of words, synonym, antonym, based on the word style. And then what's interesting in GLOS is that we can use it and we can type certain sentence or a word, and then it will give the translation. Also, the selection of sentences on how that word is applied. So we can get the idea of the word will be, or the translation will be in different contexts of sentence. And then, of course, to know or to make sure whether the grammar in English is correct, or no errors, or limit the errors. We use Grammarly to identify that. And most of the students are already familiar with this, so it's not too challenging to use the tools. And then another system is from DeepL Translate. However, DeepL itself is already implemented in the SmartCat. So what's interesting about SmartCat is that it has the options to whether use options of AI tools, and we can also select not to use the AI, so only use the SmartCat as our assistant. So those are the tools that we use in our classroom. And then you see there are options if you want to directly know, for example, the ingredients of some products in other languages, for example, Japanese, Chinese, that it's kind of tricky to be typed. So you can use Google Lens instead. Yeah, if you want to know certain ingredients or what it means in other language than English. And then I translate for voice translation. So you can talk and then the translation will appear. Yeah, that's also another AI that you can use. Next slide, please. Okay. So when we use AI, there are challenges and ethical considerations that we have to identify, or we have to learn. Yeah. First, over-reliance on AI. What happened with this? How about our skill development? So AI, once again, only to assist us. We don't rely on AI too much, yeah? Because if we rely on AI too much, then the AI becomes smarter and we're not. So I think we have to use both, AI as assistants and our own, knowledge to translate the text. So um, it's important to practice, practice, and practice. So we'll know, for example, the nuance, yeah, in translation. Sometimes it's missing if you're giving over reliance on AI. That's why we can use back translation. We can also compare it with our own translation, because before AI era, we use printed dictionary, and we take a look at it over and over again. And for myself, I also got help by watching movies, by reading some books. Yeah, so for me to get the nuance, or let's say to identify whether the subtitle from certain videos, you can identify, oh, that's not the right translation on the subtitle, because we know that's not how it's supposed to be, because we often watch the situation occur in probably in other videos, in movies, so we learn that also. So AI, once again, only as assistants, yeah, because one day I believe we will be back on pen and paper. Like in Finland and Norway, the students in primary school, they have returned to pen and paper, because they already developed technology for, or not developed, they use that for 15 years, and it turned out that the students have a decrease in their skill, so they return to pen and paper. I read that on an article. And then next, bias and accuracy in AI translation. So bias here, AI may reinforce cultural stereotypes. For example, if we use a certain AI tools, sometimes, or what I found is that if the developers turned out to be a group of people from certain English country, yeah, English-speaking countries, and so the translation will more to that specific country. For example, English, yeah, England and American, yeah, British and American. There are differences for the results. And then data privacy and academic integrity. Yeah, well, it's an issue, especially in Indonesia, about data privacy. Yeah, so we limit, yeah, the translation data only as you know, AI as our assistant. So we don't input all our information there. Then we have to share only the important part. And then academic integrity. So if our university, like WIN Cyber, I think the institution should provide, for example, instruction or regulation about whether we are AI assisted or we are using AI generated work. Yeah, so or institutions should provide guidance for that, because it's in line with the cyber university campus. And then, yeah, so from all of what we're discussing here about AI or leveraging AI in translation classroom, what are the key benefits? So in brief, yeah, there are 3 benefits that we can share. So we can here first about personalization, adapt to where we can adapt individual proficiency. I mean, the AI adapts to individual proficiency. For example, adjusting difficulty in translation tasks, and then immediate feedback, corrects error and explain nuances. Yeah, for example, cultural context in translation. So remember that there are words, yeah, in English that has several meanings. For example, um, yeah, related to context, you have to know that first in our source text, what kind of context of the text that we would like to translate. For example, if you familiar with the word solution, right? In Indonesian language, solution means solusi. But in English, solution can have at least two meanings. Yeah, solusi in bahasa Indonesia, or problem solving, and then solution as a substance or a combination of substance. For example, if you buy paint, if you buy glue, and then the ingredients will mention, or there are description about this solution is a combination of blah 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 blah. So solution there is cannot be translated as solusi because it will have, you know, will have a totally different meaning. So it's out of context. So that is important for you to find out the context. What are we going to translate? And then another example, powder. In Indonesian language, powder can mean bedak, right? But also can mean bubuk. So the context should be identified first. Even in the Western culture, white powder is sometimes associated with cocaine, something like that. Yeah, that is something that we have to know the context. Another example of word, I've mentioned this before, about concrete. Concrete can means real and wall. So you have to know what we are going to translate. Like if we're talking about concrete evidence in bahasa Indonesia or Indonesian language, it means bukti nyata. But if we're talking about this building is made of concrete wall, it means that in bahasa Indonesia or Indonesian language, bangunan ini ya terdiri dari dinding beton. So concrete can mean beton and also nyata. To know that, you have to understand the context. And then collaborative learning. AI facilitates peer review. Here, comparing humans versus AI translation. Yeah, we can do that, especially in our classroom before. In each group, yeah, each friends. So, for example, there are some paragraphs, several paragraphs, and then student one translate the first paragraph, student two, three, and so on. And then they kind of having discussion about do they agree with the translation or they have other ideas about it. And then we will discuss that and then we will come up with the solution or the fixed translation based on their knowledge, our students' knowledge at the time. All right, I think, yeah, that's all for my presentation today. Thank you so much, everyone. And if you have questions, feel free to ask.
Okay, thank you, Miss, for the presentation. Maybe we open the Q&A session, yeah. And if you have any question, please raise your hand or maybe write your question in the chat box, yeah. Thank you. Wait. Longer. Ini kursornya nggak ada sih di sininya. Wait, Miss. Nyari kursornya. Nggak ada ya?
Lihat sana aja.
Oh iya.
Nah, iya.
Oke. Iya. Iya. Wait. Ini laptopnya.
Okay.
Oke. Chatbox.
Obrolan.
Apa ada sih? Oh ya. Oh, oke. In Oke. Invite mana? Oh ya. Oke. For Mr. Nana, maybe you have a question or something.
Excited.
Okay.
No, not yet, not yet. So I've just joined the Zoom and I didn't follow from the first materials actually. But yeah, something that's very interesting for students actually, Buluru actually. My student was conducting a research on the use of DeepL as the translation tools actually, Buluru.
Yes.
So my question is that actually, have you ever found that the accuracy of the translation tool what's so called as the DeepL to translate from Bahasa Indonesia to English or English to Bahasa Indonesia? Maybe that's my curiosity, Buluru.
Well, actually, DeepL is considered one of the tools that quite accurate. However, still, Mr. Nana, we cannot 100% depending on the tool itself. So in terms of translation, we also need to sometimes compare that to our own understanding or our own idea of the text. So if it is about vocabulary, for example, what's your students has been research about. So I think if only for word by word translation or only to find specific words, I think many of the AI or even data is accurate. But if we translate it on sentences, paragraph, I believe we should recheck, yeah, not only depending on the AI, because of course there are certain, yeah, influence in the AI, whether it's going to the, let's say, British or American. I found that in, several AI that I have tried. So we should recheck once more, and we have to use or compare that with our own translation. But actually, it's quite, I'm not saying easy, but we can identify that after we read the text, the translation, whether it's accurate or not. And if sometimes it's not accurate, then we can change the the words. But if you're asking is it accurate, based on my I've tried the tools or based on my experience, it's accurate.
Okay.
Even
Yeah, something that maybe it's kind of the phenomena Puloro. Actually, 4 years ago, that's 5 years ago, sometimes I was asked to help my friends, my colleagues to translate
yeah,
their abstract, abstract dissertations and also this. But now, actually, my job, not my job, actually, it doesn't really mean that I lose my job, but they until now because of the use of AI to be that can be used for translating Indonesia to target language to the native language.
yeah.
So I didn't until now I haven't got any hands of an over to translate my friends abstract actually. Do you think do you feel the same uh, things like what I have, Uluru? Maybe some of your friends or maybe some of your customer wants you to translate the document or whatever is that because of the emergence of AI. So that kind of apa namanya service translation services doesn't really have the role actually. What do you think, Uluru?
Thank you, Banana. Yes, yeah, I have that kind of situation also. But what's interesting is that some of them actually ask for my more to post editing translation. Like they already translated and they ask me, is this what is it, appropriate, suitable, or correct? Because sometimes when you translate medical text or legal text or engineering text, it's kind of different, and they also sometimes ask me whether it's appropriate or there are some mismatch that they want to consult that part. So today, translating what is a job is more to post editing translation job. That's what I experience. But in terms of
Yeah.
direct translation in conference, I think those what is it? A job is still what is available. Because AI, yeah, sometimes it depends on which AI that you use. Yeah, if it is, yeah, I watched just yesterday the video of I don't know where she is from, but she's Western, and then she speaks English, and then there are subtitles, but it has mismatches, and I directly know, oh, this is not the translation should be. And well, I'm not sure what kind of AI that she used or the other person that uploaded the video. So it can be, it can be one of the research idea, because yeah, we cannot depending on. That's why I I said that we cannot depending on AI 100%, even though some of the AI use AI to
the problems for them. Yeah. So how do you balance? Maybe based on your best practices in class, because it will be so easy if our student we give the task for our students, the assignment for our students, and then they just copy and then ask ChatGPT or ask Deep Learning to translate the text that we assign to them. It will be so easy for them. How do you mitigate the over reliance for your students so they still have the skills to translate?
Thank you, Miss Ossie. Actually, in the translation classroom, I insisted that in this AI, the smart cat that I'm explaining, it has option to add another AI. One of it is DeepL, and I check. I mean, we made it in groups. Yeah, there are several groups, 5 groups. So I check them one by one. Please do not tick the option to add AI. So you just type it, and then you type the source text, and then type the text, and then the AI will help you whether all of your translation is correct or match or not. And then if there are some mismatch, then the AI will give warning. This part is not correct with what is it? A red underline. Yeah, and give triangle warning. There are some errors. Sorry, mismatch. And then they will figure out, oh, which one? And then how to check this. I mean, to change what are the more appropriate words. So yeah, I have to check them and insist them not to use the other. That's just my systems. And then in other classroom, if we do it online or we take home, it's quite hard, right?
Yes.
Probably for me, it's just trying to motivate them. Please, if you use AI too much, then they're smartest and you're. I mean, and I sometimes use that. Yeah, then check it on the. Please don't put your phone down. Yeah, write it down.
So that's what I did also.
Oh iya,
Ask them
makan dulu.
phone
Yes.
and then
Yeah, that's
so
yeah, sometimes.
sometimes
Yeah, so
sometimes I also sometimes ask them to compare their work,
yes,
their own and also the way from
yes, I agree with that.
hopefully they can.
Hopefully. I don't know. Do you agree with me or not? Because back on the days, I'm sorry, doesn't mean to
We want to compare.
compare, but in our time, we kind of think that it is a bad thing to what is it? For example, to make the same error or mistake over and over again. Yeah, for me, not for me, for us at the time, it's not good. So we have to do better. Oh, this mistake cannot go on, right? And then we have to change. So we know this is wrong, pronunciation, grammar, and others. And then next time we don't do that mistake again. That's what I believe Aussie and our lecturers also have that, what is it, motivation, that idea in our mind. So it's kind of heartbreaking when we notice that. I don't know what happened to our students lately when we found they did the same mistake again and again. And what is it? Even though we are assisted by AI, so many AI, so maybe we have to dig that deeper. Why that happens? Yeah, I said that's why my what is it? About. I mean, I really concerned about it with, you know, our students. Again, I just to assist.
Assist.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Steve.
Harus semua ya berarti ya.
Bisa sesuai dengan yang Bapak tahu.
Okay. Anyone who wanna ask the material today?
Dinilai kan.
Maybe give some insights.
Yeah, or maybe give some insight.
Proses nih gini ya.
Where is it?
Coba di.
So for smart cat, is it web-based or
Yes.
application?
With this. So I'm repeating.
Okay.
Sure.
I
Or-
Bring the laptop.
Is smart cat can also accept any access to
Yes. Yes.
our
Because it's smaller size.
Okay. There is a question from Mr. Anthony.
Yeah.
What phrases are being interpreted incorrectly by AI?
What is this?
Phrases.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Anthony, for the questions. Actually, there are many phrases, but sometimes the AI difficulties in translating idioms, yeah, not specific phrases, but idioms. So
Kan sebelum di
what we can do is give some, what is it, the appropriate prompt. Yeah, if you use AI, prompt that asks question, for example, write the idioms in source text. Yeah, and then you ask the AI, please
era burung beo. Tidak semua tahu burung beo.
or please find an idioms in target text. Which target text do you prefer? Japanese or so if English, then you can ask the idioms for that for the source text idioms in target text. I think more to the Mr. Anthony, but in daily or academic situation, I the phrases are
Apa dampaknya mengenai
applicable or are able to be translated by the AI
burung bahasa
to idioms that we have to reach.
yang punya penyajian atau terindikasi perbuatan, terutama di ekonomi kreatif dan tadi kita membahas sedikit tentang dunia pendidikan dan dampak kecerdasan buatan itu pada dunia pendidikan.
Okay, Mr. Anthony, is that clear?
Akan dipersingkat karena sudah dijelaskan tadi. Ya, yang dimaksud dengan artificial intelligence sudah umum ya, orang sudah sangat paham bahwa sebetulnya tidak cerdas, namanya kecerdasan, tapi sangat tidak cerdas karena yang telah
Alright.
dan jutaan miliaran data yang dikumpulkan.
Okay, Alhamdulillah, we've come to the end of the seminar. I would like to say thank you for all participants and also Ms. Luru as the speaker today. And Okay, maybe I will conclude the what is it presentation today. Okay, AI makes language learning and translation more accessible, and however, we must to recheck or about ethical consideration of AI, and AI it's just a tool to assist student in learning translation. Okay, maybe that's all for this seminar. Before we close the seminar, let's say Hamdallah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Alhamdulillahirobbilalamin.
Thank you, everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kita minta bersama ChatGPT. ChatGPT coba gambarkan sekelompok jam tangan yang menunjukkan jam, misalnya jam 4.25. Apa yang dihasilkan? Ya gambar seperti ini. So, itu bukan jam 4.25 yang ditunjukkan, tapi jam 10:10. Dan hanya itu, dia tidak bisa, ChatGPT tidak bisa menghasilkan yang kita minta, yaitu sekelompok jam tangan yang menunjukkan jam berapa saja, jam 4.25. Kenapa? Karena artificial intelligence atau ChatGPT telah mengumpulkan ribuan atau ratusan ribu foto jam tangan, dan selalu itu kalau di katalog atau yang menjual online itu